This is Geek Squad with your girl Adobea Biritwum. Geek Squad is brought to you by MTN. MTN, everywhere you go. Tonight we are going to have a conversation on social media's influence on elections. As I mentioned earlier, we just ended the elections last Saturday, as in we all went to the polls. Hopefully all of us did. I have my guests and I'll be finding out that from them. But the whole idea was that a lot happened on social media. And for us on Geek Squad, we want to see how this went down, the influence of social media on elections. Prior to this, we had a conversation around if social media can influence elections and who people decide to vote for. And now we want to see how that went, looking at the past weekend. So I have with me two gentlemen. One of them is my producer. He's in the person of Prince Safo. Prince, you're welcome.
Hi.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
And I also have with me Kenneth Awachindako. He is also into tech. Kenneth, you're welcome.
Thank you.
So I'm going to start off with the first question. Prince, did you vote?
Oh yeah, I did. And I mean, I voted and also influenced a couple of youths to vote. Yeah, I mean that's all I can say.
Okay, about the influence, we'll come to it
Yeah,
when
we'll
we have
come
our
to it.
conversation,
Yeah.
how that was done. Kenneth, what about you?
No, I didn't vote. I was supposed to vote on the special voting day.
Okay.
Yeah, but unfortunately, I couldn't find my name in the roll. I thought I was accredited for that, but which meant that
You had to.
on election day I
join.
had to vote, but we are in the media. We were working at the same time,
So
so
you couldn't
unfortunately,
do that.
yeah, that couldn't
That
happen.
was,
But yeah,
that
it's
was unfortunate.
yeah,
Rather unfortunate.
that's what we find ourselves.
But anyway, I did. I had a chance to go and vote on Saturday, and like I said, we all went to the poll. So yeah, at least all of us made the effort, even though Kenneth couldn't do that. If you are listening to us, you can join the conversation on the WhatsApp number 055 997 055 997. Did you vote? Why or why not? Let us hear from you on that. And now we are going to have the conversation about social media and the influence it had on this particular year's elections.
Yeah.
We want to look at it. So now I'm going to come back to you, Prince, because you said you influenced some youth. How did you influence them? Is the question I want to ask.
So let me use this analogy.
Okay.
I'm a Sunday school teacher, and
Okay.
sometimes when I'm teaching the kids about certain things relating to God, there's this that I always tell them. There are things that you tell them. I mean, it could be about anything. There are things that maybe when you tell a child to pray for their finances, they might be wondering, like, why? Because every time I need money, I go to my mom, my dad. And
Yeah, so why should you ask God for that?
I mean, yeah. So maybe let's say there's a prayer about finances. I mean, they don't think that they have to pray about finances. Either praying for it or praying even for their parents when it comes to that. And that's how some of the youths are. I mean, there are youths out there that, to be honest with you, they don't listen to radio. And even when they hear about things that are happening in the country, I mean, they just hear it. They really don't understand what it is.
Yeah.
And so from where I was, there were many young people who, like, they have their voter's ID card on election day. Now they are wondering, like, I mean, what do I do? Who do I vote for? Like, they've heard so many things. They've heard from the NDC, they've heard from the MPP, they've heard from those other political parties. I mean, they've been watching videos. Some of them, they laugh about it. Now is election day. And, like, they don't know what to do. And so you see some of these young people, it's either their parent tell them do this or somebody tell them do that. And some of them,
I was born into
Yeah,
this.
born into
exactly,
it.
because I mean, they hear, they see,
Yeah.
but I mean, what's the point? It doesn't really affect them. Some of them don't rent. I mean, their parents feed them, and so many things don't affect them so much. And that's why I
how
came
you
in,
played the role
yeah,
of
to let them
influencing
understand that, hey, you need to vote, and I mean this and that. These are the people, like, just vote based on something, and that's where the influence came in. Yeah.
I get that. So, hearing you speak, I'm going to come to you now, Kenneth.
Yeah.
You spoke about they are seeing it, they are hearing, and all that, but they may not really understand and know what to do. So, when it comes to social media, what would we say is the role it played? I mean, in the discourse online, the tweets, Facebook. How did it play that in shaping everything that happened for 2024 election?
And it's interesting when we decided on this topic. It's very interesting how everything we said on the last episode we did on the elections and social media and how things
It's
played out.
really-
Yeah.
Because because we're talking about how effective when it comes to influencing the minds of the youth, especially
the youth.
in terms of social media and
Yeah.
how people are taking advantage of the platform to reach different audiences.
Yeah.
When it comes to the roles, it is I can't even begin to
Yeah.
mention.
That's-
In the lead up to the election, we saw. Before the election, there was the springing up of podcasts. There were very different mediums that were being explored. Twitter Spaces
Yeah.
was a big thing this year, but
Yeah.
when it was getting close to the polls, we saw that it was being used more and more. The video live version
Exactly.
on Twitter as well.
Yeah.
It was very
Much
very
used.
much
For political
employed for
discussions.
political discussions amongst other things.
Yeah.
Facebook as well, you realize that there was also a lot of conversation going on there, and it wasn't limited to just the voters, but the political actors were also taking advantage of it to propagate their message. And they were not even doing it on their own; they were also employing influencers
That's the whole
to
point.
help
Yeah.
push those
They had an
conversations.
influence.
And they
They
really
are not just called influencers.
They
Yeah.
really did.
That's why the other time we were talking about how influencers could, or whether they were actually doing something or influencing, like you are saying.
Yeah.
We talked about the fact that there was the need to, as soon as possible, try to train some of them, because whether I like it or not, it has come to stay. And so if they are going to play a very crucial role in a democratic issue such as an election, then it's important that you rope them in when it comes to like the training of these individuals to ensure that, they are going to do it anyway.
Yeah.
So once you put them through the right channel, and then they know that, okay, there are some ethics that guide some of the things we do, because you can regulate on traditional media,
Yeah.
but when it comes to social media, it's a whole different ball game.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. It's a whole different ball game. I mean, for me, I took time out just to go through some of the conversations, and it was just interesting for me. A very
Yeah.
typical example being like the John Dumelo's constituency,
Yeah.
talking about the influence,
Yeah.
how people were just willing to follow, and it was really interesting to me. And I like what Prince you said earlier, the fact that you were able to influence some people. And well, I don't know whether I was ready to influence some people, because I saw some people's pictures, as in who they were supporting in a
Yeah.
way, and I was asking myself, what would make someone even support
that.
this person?
Yeah.
So when it comes to the social media strategies that the political parties do, how would you say it influenced the voters in the first place?
So, I have to commend Joy FM, Joy News. There are certain people too that we have to commend, like Bright Simmons.
Yeah.
These kind of people, Manasseh Azuri, Samson Ayini. These people, for me, I never vote based on I like NDC. I'm from NDC. I'm MPP. I like MPP.
I was born into the party.
Exactly. I vote based on issues.
Okay.
And these people that I've mentioned help me to understand issues. And I mentioned them because they just didn't do it. Joy never did it based on bias. They gave us the platform.
Yeah,
You choose. I'm
independent,
telling you
yeah.
what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You choose. I'm not telling you what to choose, but this is the fact. So you make meaning out of it. And to be honest with you, many of the things that they churn out, and for me to make meaning out of, it was on social media, and I have to also recommend K Fresh and his people.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Because
yes, yes.
the short videos, the interviews that they had, the live feeds, and all those things.
The
So
life feeds were something else.
yeah,
Yeah.
so people were not doing it on social media. I mean, Bryce Simmons and Manasseh lots on social media, but maybe Evans would be on radio.
Yeah.
Evans would be on TV, but now K Fresh and his people put
put
it
it
on social media
exactly
for me
for
to
us.
see,
Yeah.
to be able to understand
Yeah.
what is
I think
happening.
most of them I was even watching.
Yeah. So
online.
that is where the influence came, and for me, I think some of these things, I think radio stations, TV stations, they need to take like they pay critical attention to streaming on social media or putting content. Because I mean they are the best voice. Because right now, I mean during the election, I mean so many people were churning out things.
Yeah.
But I have to
we'll be
always
coming to
wait
that
for
too.
joy.
Yeah.
I have to always run to Joy
Yeah.
to check.
Just
Is
to
this true?
confirm.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's what we're talking about.
And I wasn't running to
Yeah.
radio. I was running to Joy on social media.
Exactly. You'll be checking
You get
the
it.
air,
And that,
Instagram.
it plays right into
Yeah.
the attempt by legacy as it's now termed these days, or
Yeah.
mainstream media or traditional media. The fact that you know some of these brands as very credible and independent in their thought, and so it helps to battle some of these issues of disinformation and misinformation.
Yeah.
Because even and now you don't even have to turn on the television to see or confirm what you are trying to do. Now
Yeah.
the media is now meeting you that
You can be in your trusty
yes, and find
Yeah.
out accurate content. So you can be on your timeline on social media, and they can tell you that okay, like right now we are just seeing they are still counting some of the coalitions
Yeah,
are going on when
yeah,
it comes to
yeah.
constituencies
Yeah.
and their parliamentarians, potential parliamentarians, and then you'd be on Twitter or Facebook and you find that someone says, "Oh,
This
this person has won."
Exactly.
And then what's the next way to check? Because you are you are on the go, you're in a trust
Exactly.
you are in a studio doing something. What do? You can't find a television close by
Exactly.
to do that. All you need
What
to
do
do
you
is just go on your YouTube or on your Twitter application. Just log on to Joy News and find out what's
Check.
happening there. You can find a live
Yeah.
feed over there, or you
Yeah.
can find a series of
Exactly.
posts that they have made in. If it's a breaking story, I'm
can-
sure
It will
you
be
find
out
it in
there.
the recent feed.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But once you don't find it there, then you begin to question
Yeah.
how true that is. So that's why it's important that, like you're saying, when the team that's working behind the scenes, like K Fresh and My Joy Online as well, let me go
Yeah.
in My Joy Online
Yeah,
as well,
yeah,
doing a
yeah.
very fantastic job in putting out the information, the credible information first.
Yeah.
So some of these people behind the scenes are making sure that the content that is disseminated on traditional media are finding space in the noise of social media, and people are
I like how you're putting it.
Yeah,
yeah,
Made
yeah.
in space.
Yeah.
exactly, because there's a lot of noise that is on there as well.
Because one funny thing happened where one of the credible radio stations and TV stations in the country posted something, and I was shocked. Already, I've seen people on social media. Somebody said I've won, and another person said I've won.
Yeah.
Now,
like
now,
this.
when that station posted, I was like, "Oh, really?" So I'm going to take what the station said,
yeah.
but first let me go and check what Joy have said,
That's also said, yeah.
so I can just compare.
Yeah, compare.
Only to find out that Joy has said nothing. Went back to social media and seen that the candidate that they said he's lost has tweeted has reposted what that station has said and told them to put it down, and they put it down. It means they didn't
Cross
check.
They didn't cross check, and that can be
Yeah,
very
and
dangerous.
if I had not gone back to Joy to check, okay,
At least you need to have some two.
yes, is
Yeah.
it the
people that
same?
can say,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'll be like, oh yeah, that's it. But no, I took the pain to check. Has Joy is Joy saying something about it? Joy said nothing.
And
Like,
it's,
okay,
it's,
what's
it's
happening?
dangerous not just for you, the person that has seen that, and the potential of you spreading that misinformation unintentionally,
Yeah.
but also for, I mean, if you look at the tensions that have arisen since the
Serious.
the concession
Since
by
Saturday,
Baumia was done.
Yes, on Sunday. Yeah.
You saw that even up to today, you are seeing
Still.
Yeah,
groups of people massing up at the regional coalition center.
Yeah.
You've seen some people going to certain areas, certain government institutions to cause mayhem, among other things. that could have been from that one mistake that you
Yeah,
saw. That
yeah.
you could have been the
Yeah.
the cause of that,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
once tensions are high,
saw it
and
and
and this information is coming from a credible media house, and these people act on that and say that, oh, our person has won, so we are going to, for instance, we are going to the EC,
Yes, to go and do that. and
regional
this.
coalition center to do something,
Yeah,
or to,
yeah,
like we are seeing,
yeah.
like we've been seeing since for the past like
Yeah,
2
yeah,
days.
yeah.
Then that would be on that station's head, and we
Exactly.
know what some of these misinformations
Exactly.
have caused in
Exactly.
different countries. So that's
Yeah.
how dangerous some of these things
Yeah.
can be.
really,
Yeah,
and the fact
yeah.
that it's on social media, and like you're saying, once the information is there, it's
It's-
real time. Everyone has access to it, and if care is not taken, before we
I'm
know, we
telling
are
you.
causing harm when we
Yeah.
don't want to even do
Imagine when it got to a point when they were collating. One influencer says Honorable Katie Hammond has lost. One says, how dare you think that Honorable Katie Hammond could lose in Adanse or something.
Yeah.
So I've seen two
that.
information.
Exactly.
Like, who do I believe? Like, so now I have to now search, go to Joy. I mean, Joy has said nothing. Like, what is happening?
What exactly is
And
happening?
that the same thing too happened to I think Honorable Zinata Rollins. I mean, somebody said she's lost, and so many people started. Oh, is that true? Is this information true?
Yeah.
And
And
somebody
then
too
it
is
was
saying that she's
very,
won.
very fast,
Yeah.
yeah.
Until she also used social media. She used her Instagram page to announce that, hey, come on,
No.
I'm not losing, I'm winning. So social media really
It
like
played a
it's-
critical role.
Yes, I'm
in
telling
this
you,
Yeah.
particular-
it was
Yeah.
serious. Yeah.
In this particular year's election. So now the question is, will we say that it provided a fair platform for all political parties, social media? Will we say that?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah. I think
I
I think
mean-
it did.
I mean, the truth of the matter is that social media in our part of the world gives everybody I mean, you have the playing field. This place is not like the US where small thing they are calling the CEOs of the social media
media
platform.
And tell you to resign
Small
and
thing
things like
they will
that,
say
yeah.
that, hey, can you stop this? Can you put this
The
like?
regulations are not
I mean,
really-
this
yeah.
place is like our people don't even complain about anything. Anybody does anything on social media, and they just go away with it. So it just gave everybody, like, do what you have to do. The only thing that I think the political parties didn't do well is some of them used I don't know if they used or if the influencers just wanted to do that because that's their party. They use social media to misinform. They use it to,
Yeah.
I mean, do things that were not right. I think political parties moving forward, they should have like influencers that are like party people and join I mean
Influencers
election
that are
or
party people, so they should identify with the
exactly
political party.
or I mean people who want to identify with them
Okay.
during that time and get paid.
Oh, I get you.
You should
Yeah.
get them in a room and give them like tell them
Some
what to
basic
say, when
standards
to
and
say,
all
like
that.
train them.
Yeah, it all goes like I'm saying.
Yes,
It all goes
even
back
what
to
they
training,
tweet, just you
Yeah.
can
yeah,
get a communication
ethics.
person to write those things for them. They just copy
And paste.
and paste, like,
But
but
they
they just
already have
left
the
them to
phone,
do
yeah.
like everybody was just
On the
everybody
edge
was
and
just
putting
Yeah.
out
Yeah, yeah,
information
yeah.
as
Um,
of when it comes to
yeah.
them.
And it wasn't even just limited to like the social media itself, and it was also seen in artificial intelligence. We saw people
oh my goodness.
create videos, use
That-
people's
that wasn't
voices.
cool.
I saw a lot of videos
And it
of
was not smart.
Mahama
They were not
or
smart
could
at
tell
all.
from
Like,
Baumia
I mean,
speaking in a certain way. And
Yeah,
you could,
yeah, yeah.
Sometimes you can like I mean like as a sitting here, we can tell when we hear it.
Yeah.
But my grandmother would
yeah,
hear
yeah,
it,
that's
and
true.
Anyway.
she won't take it lightly.
Yeah,
She would really believe that this is
yeah.
John
yeah.
Mahama speaking,
Yeah.
and based on whatever is happening in the video, form
Yeah,
an,
yeah.
an opinion off of that. So we may take it for granted that this thing there, are you here? I'm not. You foresee so.
It's AI
You know, but
generated.
yeah,
But there are
it's
people.
It's
I
not
mean,
that obvious. A lot of
that
people.
thing when it gets to WhatsApp, it will
That's
cause a
it.
lot of
It
harm.
just-
It's true.
Telling you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true. like I said some time back, I ever saw a video like that, and I was just seeing the comments beneath, and everybody was like, "Oh, this is so touching. This is so," and I said, "Can't you guys see it's AI generated?" Like, there was a small child singing, and everybody was so touching and so touching. I was asking myself, is it that people cannot determine?
Yeah.
Focus on the emotion.
Yeah.
It's touching.
Yeah.
So yeah, really, with all that was said, sometimes you cannot tell easily, depending on the audience that we have, but at least for some of us, it was quite easy to know that. So
Yeah.
I think I want us to look at the impact of hashtags on these elections. What are some of the impacts? And before we do that, I know we've spoken about the influencers, but I just want us to touch on this a bit. Did they really play a role in making people decide to vote for specific parties?
I mean, I'll say yes and no. Okay. Yes,
At the
yes,
information that
because
they were putting
yeah,
out there.
yes, because I have seen people repost and tag people, or because X says it's not tweets now. I don't know how.
You know, right? You know, I was actually thinking about that.
So I've seen
these two
people
words, I was asking
post.
myself.
I've seen them post and tag someone and say, "Because of you, I voted for this person." I mean, there are a lot of those things on Twitter.
Yeah. And you also see people, like, so I can, for instance, let's assume
Yeah.
you're an NDC person.
Yes.
You see someone who identifies with the
Well,
NDC.
I'm a floating voter.
Okay. Thanks for that information. Thank you for that information. But assuming you're an NDC sympathizer,
Yeah.
and you come and tweet, this was happening on social media. What I saw, you come and tweet, "Oh, I'm voting for John Mahama," and then another person, me, I see that, and what I come to do is I just come and quote that and be like, "I'm canceling this with my vote. I'm voting for Mahama."
Yeah,
That's why
exactly.
I was seeing that a lot.
Yeah.
So someone
yeah.
would voice out who they are going to vote
Exactly.
for, and other people will come and come into that comment section and be like, they are canceling that, and someone else will be like, "Oh, I'm also coming to cancel yours
Exactly.
with my
Yeah.
little sister."
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So I was seeing that play out, and I thought it was very, very interesting because I haven't seen that on Twitter before. Maybe this is my first time noticing things like this in this specific.
Yeah.
But it was very
instance.
engaged. I mean, you saw people were really engaging this time round.
This time it
Compared
was
to
serious.
last 4
Yes.
years.
It was a lot.
And I think maybe because of the YouTube, because someone was having a conversation with me and the person was saying, for some people, they've never voted before. And for them, they are social media babies in a way. So now it's like everything is on there. So it was good that some political parties, I mean, all political parties decided to use that medium to engage with people, but it was very engaging. You had people really responding to tweets, like we're saying about some of the MPs who had been voted in, when there will be information sent and someone will come back and say that's not what's happening. At least they use that to really engage the people. So I'm just going to go back to the initial question that I was asking, the impact of hashtags, like trending topics during these elections. Did you really play a role, as in people will go see something, everybody jumps onto it?
Yeah, this is how hashtags work. So I mean, when you, let's say you're on Twitter or any place, you can use hashtag to find out what is happening. So you see that the trending things or the trending hashtags will be lined up at the hashtag section. So you can just use it. I mean, it is also true that people have used it unnecessarily for things that might not even relate to the hashtags.
Sometimes just add the
Yeah,
hashtag to
so
the thing.
sometimes it's difficult to locate what is happening. But if you take your time, you would find it. And I think the hashtags really worked. It's, I mean, especially during the campaign, it's like MPP's rally and NDC's rally, like one person just topples one and then the other person comes. It's like they were competition. Like people were competing. Because when you see the thing trending, you want to click on it to check. So the hashtags really worked. I mean, like vote for John Mama, Baumia, I mean, 24 hours economy. There were so many of these hashtags that worked. And when somebody also used those hashtags, you know that, I mean, this person is supporting this person.
You're talking about that. So were you able to just tell straight away from what people were tweeting that they were supporting specific parties?
Yes.
But apart from those who are very bold about it, some people are just putting
Yes.
there, like you're giving the example, I'm voting for this person. But otherwise, looking at the conversations that were happening, were you able to just tell that this person, from how it's going, supports this political party?
Yeah, like somebody, let me read this from Twitter. He said, "Me and my sister went to cancel our parents' vote. We should have all sat home." And I can tell what happened. It's like it's either there was parents 2 for NDC and there's 2 for MPP, or there's parents 2 for MPP, and like this is you use this to know that now I know this person, I know how he voted, but I just don't want to say it.
The interesting thing is the generations. You could really tell.
Yeah, I mean,
There was really a vast. For me, I think my shocker was looking at my WhatsApp status. When I saw what people had posted on their WhatsApp, I'm like, oh, so this person really.
yeah, I think that also happened to me.
It was really a shocker for
And
me.
especially after Baumia conceded.
Yeah,
It was something else.
yeah.
It was something else. Like, oh my, I see.
Like, where were you? Where were you all this while?
People showed up their true colors after they've seen that NDC had won. They showed where they were, but they were not
But some of
doing
the
that.
tweets,
Yeah.
though.
But I think what Bamia did was life saving, and I don't want to say he needs to, because people have, even the president elect have commended him. That was life saving.
Yeah.
Imagine
How quick
after
he
that.
did that.
I mean,
And again, social media
was
had the
amazing.
role to play there, because now I
Yeah.
just saw people have started posting
Yeah,
it.
he was a
posted
true
it, it's
gentleman.
already conceded. People have just started posting it,
Yeah.
because otherwise it was something else, like we're
Yeah.
saying. But really, it was a shocker to me.
Yeah.
The fact that, but I think I just want us to touch on this. We say that social media has made people bold now, because some time back it was like your vote, the person you vote for, is like some kind of secrecy. You don't even tell someone you're voting for this person.
Yeah.
We say that it's done something.
And I mean, here also, I want to Samson Ayini. I mean, he helped me understand certain things, because it got to a point. I mean, when it started from the special voting, where people went to vote, they took a picture of their vote, and then they posted it. Now, if you say this, many people think, I mean, it's wrong. I mean, I don't know if it's wrong, but I mean, that's what people think. And people, you see people tweeting, or I mean posting, Ghana police, is this legal, and all of that. But Samson explained it, and for me, when he was interviewed on that matter and how he explained it, it gave me a sense of meaning to that, because from what he said, okay, how I got it, says that the law that prevents people from sharing their vote online, or I mean showing it to the world, is supposed to protect the people. So there's a law that protects you from somebody sneaking to see who you voted for, that they might use it against you. It's like your Momo password. You have your Momo password. MTN will tell you that don't share it with anybody.
Yeah.
Now you choose to share your Momo password. Should the police arrest you? No.
It's like it's you.
So I mean, even that law needs to be looked at carefully. Yeah. So people were so bold enough. So getting back to the topic, they were so bold enough to vote and show who they voted for on social media. So that's the kind of boldness that social media gives people. And those people might not necessarily have that boldness to go and tell people, but for them to be able to sit at home and just go somewhere and just throw it out there.
Yeah. So you see, there's also this concept about, or this perception that people have, where they see social media ironically as their safe space. That's where they're able to do everything they want to do without being judged or whatever it is. Let me tell you this story about how things played out for Adansi Asokwa and Pikiti Hammond.
Yeah.
There's a story about how during the elections when the voting was going on, or before the elections going into the polls,
Yeah.
he had a lot of people telling him, "Oh, Honorable, we'll vote for you. Honorable,
Yeah.
we'll vote for you. Don't worry,
That's
we'll
what he
sort
said.
you out at the polls and stuff like that." Even on the D-Day when he was going to, we have people like giving him fans, the young guys, especially the young guys in the community, who were like, "Oh, Honorable, we'll vote for you. Honorable, we are going again," and all that. Only for Honorable to go, and then later on, the polls are out and Honorable is down.
They didn't try at all. I'm telling you. They lied to an elderly man.
Yeah, so, but they can, obviously, you know how Ghanaians sometimes we are. We can, like, be somewhere about certain things, but we won't let you know until the day of accountability. That's how you know that.
Exactly.
And we have that thing, that respect for elders and leaders and all those things. So, instead of telling him point blank, they are not going to vote for you, they'll rather go on Twitter, on Facebook, and go and post it there that I'm voting for the NDC candidates in Adansa Square, and the person will feel safer to say that on Twitter than to tell that to the MP in the face.
Because maybe they are scared because that MP. He won't spare them.
What we do?
Like you can't tell him. You can't tell him your mind. Like you do it. So maybe social media will help you because he's not there. He cannot even come and fight you over there.
Exactly.
So that's
so
a safe place for you.
That false sense of safe space that social media gives some people allows them to be able to voice some of these things out. And democratically, it's good. It's healthy. You are able to, have all these banters on social media, and that's the good thing about it. It doesn't usually reflect onto the real, I don't know, so to speak, in physical terms. You won't see people fight on Twitter and come on the street
and come and fight.
Fight.
They leave social media and come and fight.
They'll
fight there.
That.
That's it.
And that's what makes it. It makes the banter quite beautiful because you see people from I was watching a TikTok video yesterday, and there was a Nigerian. She's a lady, and she was talking about how she's still here in Ghana, and on the day of the election, the day before the election, she went to shop, she went to stock up and all those things. She said that's what happens in Nigeria, but because she's in Ghana, she thought it was the same thing. So that day she tried to go get some food stuff and stuff like that, but I think she slept off or something, so she couldn't do that. So on the election day, she felt like she was going to have to starve or something, but she was just trying to see what's happening, if she would find a store or something. And she went out and the shops were open. Everybody was just walking about.
This is Ghana.
In fact, I saw so many people in town. I was like, is it that day?
This is Ghana. Seriously, why should we be afraid during election period? I don't know why I have to be scared during election.
She said she was so surprised.
I think maybe because of what has happened in other countries. So.
Ghanaians don't do that.
Yeah, so the banter just stays on social media
like that,
and then everything is on social media.
Yeah,
really. This reminds me of a story back then. Like there was something that people used to say. I can't really remember which political leader it was, but they were saying all kinds of things about him, and especially online too. We're saying all kinds of. And then, interesting enough, during campaigns, they will be going to people's homes.
Yeah.
And one of these guys, the man came over there, and all of a sudden, the person who he has been saying all the nasty things about, all of a sudden, he's so humble, I'm so pleased to meet you. But seriously, we're saying, on social media, people just feel that, let me just put anything I want to put.
Imagine these two people, they were not able to tell their parents that, listen, we are not going to vote for them.
And then now they've cancelled
on social media.
They've cancelled but
there's no need for you to go and tell your mom or dad. Just put it there. Let's have fun with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Really. This is Geek Squad with your girl Adobea Biritwum. We are having a conversation on the impact of social media on elections. Last weekend, we went to the polls, and I'm having a conversation with Prince Safo, my producer, and Kenneth Awatrin Dakon and stuff here at Joy 99.7 FM. Geek Squad is brought to you by MTN. MTN, everywhere you go. We all have those days when you are low on everything: energy, time, cash, and even airtime and data. Well, that's why MTN Extra Time is an airtime and data advanced service that allows you to make calls or browse the internet even when you have insufficient balance. All you have to do is to dial *506#. *506#. Go through the prompts and select the amount of airtime or data you need. It's more than simple. Doing your favorite things on MTN means you don't get interrupted even when you are low on airtime or data. Please remember all terms and conditions apply. This is Geek Squad with your girl Adobea Biritwum. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this.
The other day, I visited Kweku at his spunky new office to congratulate him on opening his business. And man, was I impressed. The business is just moving quick. The sales, customers, everything is just working seamlessly. The secret? He said,
It's MTN Business Broadband. In this fast-paced environment, we need fast and reliable internet to support all business types. No laggy online meetings, great download and upload speeds, impeccable business management systems, all inclusive. I mean, you can have it all.
"Shout!" I signed on immediately.
To enable your business stay ahead and stay connected, make sure you're signed on to the best internet made just for businesses. MTN Business Broadband. Sign up today on broadband.mtn.com.gh and manage your account on my MTN app. Call 0244 308 111 for more information. We are good together everywhere you go.
Joy 99.7 FM.
Welcome back. This is Geek Squad with your girl Adobea Biritwum. We're having a conversation on how social media influenced elections, the just ended elections. And I'm having a conversation with Prince Safo and Kenneth Awochi Dakum. You can join the conversation on the WhatsApp number 055 1111 997 055 11 11 997. What kind of role did social media have when it came to elections for you? Did it influence you in any way? Did you see a particular tweet from someone or something on Facebook that even made you decide on who to vote for? And if not who to vote for, how did you engage on social media during these past few days and during elections? Let us hear from you on the WhatsApp number 055 1111 997. So back to you, Kenneth and Prince.
Yeah.
Last 2 weeks, and I think the week before, we spoke about the different manifestos of the political parties prior to elections. So my question now would be, what role did social media play there in terms of the questioning, any kinds of debate, mainly to do with the manifestos? I'll start first with you, Prince. Why I see you
Okay,
nodding.
so for me, the manifestos from the political parties is not what they said, but what social media people, let's use the word
I
people,
like that.
or social media influencers re-echoed. That was what was like the key thing.
Taking, yeah.
So it's not what they said, it's not what they were saying, but it was what the people that support them on
pick
social
out of
media
it and
were re-echoing or were talking about. So you get to hear somebody from maybe MPP and say that, and the person would not listen to maybe what a leading member or the the newly elected president is saying about 24 hours economy, but what a social media person is saying about 24 hours economy, and say that even you don't understand your party's what policy. How do you expect me to accept it? You get what I mean? So it's not what they said, but that's why I'm saying that maybe moving forward, political parties need to train influencers for their political gain,
Political ambitions, yeah.
and communication. Because see, in the beginning of the campaigns, I'm so sure that it got to a point NDC realized that if they didn't come in, which they started saying things about, hey, if you need information about blah blah, get to us.
Yeah.
People were just
Putting anything.
describing 24 hours economy
in their own way.
own different, like they were
And
making
it was
mistakes.
something else to boost this.
You get it? So it's not what they
Yeah.
said. So their manifestos were there, and to be honest with you, there's not many people that really have time to even download the manifestos. And I didn't also see the political parties or these influencers, so to speak, share like the link to where you can go and find
them,
the
yeah.
manifesto. And to be honest with you, the young people of today, they don't like reading.
So even if you share,
Even if you share, they will not
We
go
want
and
the short
download.
clips
and-
and the videos.
Exactly.
Yeah. Just
That's
that
how come
tweets,
now the
exactly.
people have to try to re-echo what was in the manifesto, and they were doing it wrongly. There's so many people saying things that were offbeat. Like, are you kidding me? He gets it.
So like it's interesting that you mentioned the fact that it's not about what you are putting out, but it's about how it's going to
Yeah,
be
yeah.
re-echoed.
Yeah.
Because you are in a space where it is easy for very little things to gain propriety over what the bigger picture is.
Exactly.
Because like you were saying, people would rather want to see like the short clips,
Yes, yes,
and
yes,
those can only do so much when it comes to putting out an information as huge as a manifesto, a party
Yeah.
manifesto, which is like a whole lot of documents. To be able to put those issues into a 30-second video, that's a
difficult.
very big problem.
Yeah.
But that's the age in which we are now. The attention span when it comes to viewership
It's
on
really
social
bad,
media
yeah.
is very short. If what you post is
30
not,
seconds to 1
yeah, if
minute,
it's
Yeah.
beyond
that's it.
if it's beyond 30 seconds,
Nobody
literally
wants to
just
write
leave
beyond
it.
30 seconds they'll move on.
We
They'll
just scroll past.
Unless,
Exactly.
Unless
So-
it's a song that they like. I mean, people enjoyed. How do they call it? Is it kwe or something?
Kwe.
More than the manifesto. Can you imagine?
Kwenkwe is number one on Apple Music Ghana.
Yes.
Exactly. So it's very interesting how some of these dynamics play out, because if you are on social media, some of these manifestos come out and someone takes it in the wrong context, and that context goes viral. Like
Yeah.
there's really not much you can do about
There's
it.
not much.
The
I mean-
the firefighting that you have to do in order to get people
Yeah,
back on
yeah,
track, like
yeah. It's
within the
difficult.
vision that a party is looking to achieve, it becomes very, 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 very difficult.
Yeah.
And so that has been a very major problem of some of the political parties. But a lot of them have been capitalizing on some of the other angles by making sure that their influencers that they are using are very much in tune with what they are doing, and putting out the right information and pointing them to the right direction. Because sometimes I've seen some of the influencers make certain posts and then mention or tag someone in the post who has more information if you want to
Yeah.
read. So I haven't seen more of the links,
Yeah.
but I've seen people tag other experts in those fields who can also come and either verify or
Yeah.
say more about what it is. And I've also seen actual like politicians
Yeah.
be on social media themselves
Yes.
and responding to people's.
of
them.
I've seen there's
Yeah.
a former finance minister Setekbe. He has been very active on people's
handle.
on his handle. So we can see someone post something about finance, and the person he goes in there and tries to explain what the NDC
person.
says about this. It doesn't even have to be about the NDC, but issues
the
that have to
people
do with
understand,
governance.
yeah.
And then he wants to just put out more information on that. And I've seen other people also do
I think
certain
Miracle
things.
Abuaji
Miracle
also did
Abuaji
that.
also
Yeah.
does
Yeah.
a lot of that as well. So that is that. Now that I mentioned Miracle Abuaji, it even brings me back to a point, because it was a very big issue when in the lead up to the election and things were playing out on social media. There was a point where he mentioned the fact that elections are not won on Twitter. On Twitter.
I was like, wow.
Yeah, and we were all going to live to see how that was going to play out, because as we sit here,
did.
it in a way
I
has.
mean,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
not
it
it's
has
not
done
it's not
something.
won on Twitter because we will not vote on Twitter.
Yeah.
But
You can influence them.
exactly,
Yeah.
Twitter will let them go to the polling station and vote.
Exactly, and the people on there
Yeah.
form a huge amount of whichever constituency that they find themselves in.
yeah.
I mean, there are over 1 million Ghanaian active users on Twitter.
Yeah.
And so if you say all of these people,
And Twitter will be the youth too, if anything
I'm
at
telling
all.
you.
exactly, and they are the
And
people.
this election was won by the youth. I mean, the
Seriously? Yeah.
youth pushed so hard. This election was won, and somebody like John Dumelo, I can tell
Yeah,
you
that's what I
that
was saying
Twitter helped
earlier.
him a lot. I mean, he had banters, people insulting him, and you go under certain posts and you see somebody saying that, hey, I wish I was in your constituency, I'll vote for you. Like, some of
Seriously?
these things are influence.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, even somebody not there wants to vote for him and all of that. And imagine an influencer having a 24-hour stream
Yeah.
on the day of election till
Yeah.
the next day, and over 500,000 young
Yes,
people
yeah.
Yeah.
were over
And not-
500.
and not
So
even
imagine if
traditional
this
media
guy
is
I'm
making
telling
those
you,
numbers on
if it
social media.
influence all these 500,000 people to go and vote for you. 500,000, like 500,000. Only one person. and you are going like all over the country gunning for votes, and somebody is sitting on Twitter and he's able to pull 500,000 people to watch him. Now he can say so many things to them that will influence them. Even
Yeah.
if he doesn't get the 500,000, he can get
50%.
It will change their minds,
Yeah.
definitely.
so social media, like, you cannot tell me that, I mean, election, yes, it's not won on,
But it contributes
plays a
Exactly.
role,
immensely.
a
Yeah.
critical role.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
A
if
critical role.
while you're on that, it also brings me to the presidential results.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at, apart from President-elect Mahama and
Yeah.
Vice President Baumia, the other person that raked in the most amount of votes was Cheddar.
Yeah.
Nana Kwame Bediako.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, what was his
Yeah.
primary source of reaching the people?
Yeah,
You know,
you have a point there.
Social media.
on the last, I think, was it Thursday or something, the last day of campaigning,
Yeah, that would
when
be Thursday.
NDC was doing their mega rally
Yeah.
in
At
Medina
Medina.
and
And
MPP,
Legon had
Legon.
MPP.
Chada he was on top on Twitter ads. Like, when you
Yeah.
go to the hashtag section, you see him up there. Like,
And you couldn't go through the
that-
comment
that was
section
his
without
rally.
finding a Cheddar
Yes,
video.
that was his rally. You get it? Yeah. So all of these
Because
things
of the target
contributed.
audience also,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he used the right medium
Yeah.
for that. It's something that we simply cannot do without. I mean, that's why we are having this conversation on Geek Squad. Tech has come to stay, and the earlier we all adapt to it, the better. And I think it's good that these political parties all decided to use this. I think I want us to look at the good side also, like how the social media was used to help voters, like navigating polling stations and things. It's something that we saw, and did it really help?
Yeah, it helped a lot. And I even start from home here at Joy News. On social media specifically, which is the reason why I like the fact that we are commending the social media team as well. Weeks ahead of the elections, they were putting out very short pieces. And I understand why they were doing that, because of the attention span we were talking about.
Yeah.
They were making very short, straight to the point, concise videos, giving advice to potential voters on how to exercise their franchise. Each day came with a different video. I think it was actually a countdown, and each day came with a very short 30-second video. Sometimes they'll tell you that, okay, this advice is for you to maybe locate your near where you're going to vote ahead of time. And that's it. That's the information for that day. So for someone who just scrolls on Twitter and finds that in 20-30 seconds they
You
have
learn
gotten
something, yep.
what, yeah, they've learned something. The next day they can say that, okay, so you don't have to thumbprint 2 spaces on your ballot sheet, and that's it. And then they go on. So
Yeah.
the social media team here at Joy News was doing that consistently for weeks ahead
Yeah.
of that, and I would like to commend them
Yes.
them for that. So that is one way that social media was helping
helped.
in terms of the advocacy towards ensuring that people do the right thing
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
D-Day.
I think there are people also that went to vote early, and they came back to social media to let people understand that, hey, there are no long queues.
Yeah.
You can
yeah.
get there now and get out. Like, and it helped people to
Yeah.
move.
I think really with that we have to commend the country, and I mean the
Yeah,
EC for,
yeah,
for
yeah,
that.
yeah,
It was really seamless.
It was
It was seamless.
seamless.
We got to our polling station. It was just a simple question. They checked our names and they said, okay, this is where you would have to vote. We
Yeah.
got there, no queue.
Yeah.
Within minutes we were done.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it was really
Because
good.
they had also created more polling centers,
Exactly.
which
Yeah.
made the queues shorter than
Yeah.
the previous elections. And so I think it was something that, and it's good that people, like you mentioned, are able to go
Tweet
and
that
experience that
data.
and talk about it.
and let others
And let
also
other
be
people know,
influenced to
because
go
you
for
know, Charlie, you feel lazy.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
oh, let me just
You
let me just sleep for some
think
5
that-
minutes.
Yeah, you also think there are a lot of people there.
Exactly,
Let the
you're not
queue
ready
reduce, that I get there. But I
But
mean,
by seeing this, at least you just
Yeah,
decided
encouraged
and,
to
and
go.
This is Geek Squad with your girl Adobea Biritwum. We are having a conversation on the role of social media on the past elections, how it influenced it. At this point, we would like you to take a listen to the quick tech fixes. We will be back after that. Welcome back. This is Geek Squad with your girl Adobea Biritwum. Tonight, I've been having a conversation with Prince Safo, my producer, and Kenneth and watching Darko, also a member here, a staff at Joy, a tech enthusiast. We've had a conversation on the role of social media on the past elections, how it influenced it, and we've said over and over that it really played a critical role for any political party at any point in time. Don't only think about traditional media, you would have to be looking at social media as well. So
Yeah.
before we round up, Prince, what would you say are your final words?
I think among the people we need to commend is the police service, because they use social media a lot to give updates.
Information.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
for me, I was getting all the police updates from their accounts. I think EC should learn to give updates on social media also, like a lot.
Yeah.
The radio TV is okay, but they should also do some updates on them,
Like they
their
can have
accounts.
some
I
handles
think
that can
yeah,
be
yeah,
used.
yeah. Among the people that they employ, they should also get people, because social media,
managers.
like, yeah,
It has come to stay.
It
And it's really
has.
part of businesses
and
now.
they should
Yeah.
find how they inculcate tech into their collation, just like they use the BVD machines. And one of the things that I've been thinking of is, can that BVD machine print out the people that voted? Because you put your thumb on it and it verifies you.
That's so true.
Can it print out
a
at
way.
the end that these are the, I mean, it's possible.
Yeah.
These are the people who were there.
Exactly, so that they can also use some of these things to check and verify these things, so that we stop chasing carbon copy that has now become pink sheets.
Thank you very much, Prince MP.
Yeah, I think that's very important. I was asking someone when the coalition was going on. I was asking a colleague of mine, a younger colleague of mine, if the person knew what a fax machine was. The person said she hasn't seen a fax machine before. I told them that's what they are using to fax the.
goodness.
That's what they are using to send the coalition the sheets from the regions to the headquarters here in Accra. And so it is very important that technology is maximized when it comes to
Yeah.
our electioneering process. I think the EC maybe
Yeah.
the next time
Yeah,
they can see how best they can inculcate that as well. But I also feel like there needs to be some stronger measures when it comes to misinformation, or even digital training or digital literacy training for.
The cybersecurity authority needs to do a lot.
Yeah, exactly, because there was a lot of misinformation within the social media space,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
people had to now come to traditional media to verify as well.
Exactly.
So maybe going forward, if these political parties put in more effort to make sure that their influencers know the ethics of the
They
business
should
of
have
information.
meetings with them and all of that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that would be very good.
Great. Before we round up, we have a message. And he says, this year's election was influenced by the social media, but we must check some of them out of the system. They are giving disinformation to the public. And I
Yeah.
think that's what you just touched
Yeah.
on, Kenneth.
Yeah, if EC, for instance, have like a fact check page that everybody can go and check, it's going to help.
I think this really sounds good. It's been great having this conversation on the influence of social media on the past elections. I've had a conversation with my producer, Prince Safo, and Kenneth Awachindaku. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining me, and also the technical team. Thank you so much. God willing, next week we will be back on Geek Squad. This has been your girl, Adobea Biritwum. Stay tuned.